Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Elle and I am a writer. Now, this is the first video on this account, so it's going to be a little bit of an intro and a writing vlog. So I'm going to get the intro part out of the way because that's going to be the most awkward part. So again, my name is Elle. I am a writer. I mostly write contemporary young adult fiction. This is Golden Girl, a book that I was querying last year. I still have one full out for it, but I think this book is dead in the query trenches. It's about this 16-year-old girl whose mom passes away, and then she moves in with her older half-sister, and she's also a track runner, and she has a lot of emotional issues, naturally. Then we have Lou, which also features a dead mom, but this time she goes to foster care with her twin brother who kind of hates her, so that's fun. Other genres that I have been writing are thrillers, one thriller actually, and then I'm also writing a social horror about this girl who's in art school, and she finds out that her #1 artist in the world ever is actually a man, and she's been chosen to be under his mentorship, and a lot of weird freaky stuff goes on, which after I finish my current project, that's definitely going to be the one that I do. So I'm so excited for that. Now we're going to get to my current project, which is the entire reason that I've started this channel. It's tentatively called Project Graveyard, but that's only because I don't have a working title for it. Here's a mood board. Looks pretty cool, right? No, I'm kidding. But I can read you a little one-sentence pitch that I have written down. A grave-robbing necromancer is offered a place at an elite university instead of prison after her illegal bone craft is tied to an FBI most wanted case. But when she discovers an untraceable bone with the power to upend the school's bloodline hierarchy, she becomes both their greatest asset and their biggest threat. Now that's one of the most vague one-sentence pitches that I've ever written in my entire life, but I promise that it's much more interesting than whatever I just said to you. So the reason I started my authortube account for this project specifically is because I am not a fantasy writer. I mean, I guess I am now, I'm a writer and I'm writing a fantasy book, so I guess that makes me a fantasy writer, but I am not naturally a fantasy writer. That's not the one thing that I gravitate towards the most, but I'm writing this fantasy book. I really like the idea that I have, and I'm just going to document my process to make sure I don't give up on it, because that would be really sad because I actually really do like the idea. So my book, Project Graveyard, is set in 1990s Louisiana, and originally it wasn't set during that time. It was a second world fantasy, and I don't know how to write a second world fantasy, so I ended up changing it to our world, Louisiana, in the 1990s, as I said. So I am now re-outlining the book and changing a bunch of stuff around. And normally, since it's a first draft, I would have just kept on pushing after 12,000 words, because I assume this book is going to be around 90,000 words. It's a big amount of words in general, but it's not very much in the book itself. So I was just like, just keep on checking. You can always rewrite it, which is what I do for second drafts anyway. But I know that it's going to bother me if the first 12,000 words are set in a different world from ours. That so much is different, and I'm just going to re-outline the entire book and then rewrite it, and hopefully that sets my mind at ease. As for other purposes of this channel, I just want to document my writing process, my hopeful journey to traditional publishing, maybe, even if it takes me years, which it probably will. Hopefully that will be documented on this channel. And I'm just going to be doing some writing vlogs and craft talks and whatever speaks to me at the time. So I hope you stick around, and let's get into the vlog. So obviously, since I already started draft 1 and I myself am a very avid plotter, I already had an outline. But since I am changing it to 1990 Louisiana, I thought it'd be beneficial to just like re-outline the entire book and put that in, as opposed to going through the outline and sprinkling like 90s isms in there. Because a lot would need to change, like a lot of the plot stuff would need to change. Like this is real world stuff. Like obviously in the real world, different things happen than in fantasy world. So I'm just gonna re-outline it. So I am writing the 4-act structure on paper. The 4-act structure doesn't change very much because obviously like the core plot points and stuff that goes on at this magic college, I have a little bit more leeway for more magical things to happen, obviously, because it's a magic college. Magic exists in this world, even if it's set in our world as urban fantasy. It's not magical realism because it's like, it's just how things are. Magical realism, I feel like, is more like, oh, this is a sacred thing that only a few people know about, and like real people and like humans can't figure out that this magic is going on. But for this one, everybody knows that magic is there, even if some people don't like it. So the act structure doesn't change too much because a lot of the plot does go on at the magic college, and that's very magic forward, and nobody's ashamed of it because it's a university for necromancy. It'd be kind of weird if everyone hated necromancy. But I'm just writing that on paper because it's easier for me to get at least my 4-act structure on paper like this. For like chapter by chapter outline, it's so much easier to do on the computer because I can sort of sprinkle in things that I think of as I think of it. Like I'll be like, oh, I should probably add this in chapter 5. On paper, I can't really go back to chapter 5 and like write in between the lines because there's a chapter 6 under it and I can't just like hit enter. So that's why I try and do the big picture stuff on paper, because for my act structures, like it's really vague. Like no specific scene stuff happens in my act structure outline. So that's where I am right now. I am doing the chapter outline. And I will update if I hit any roadblocks. So I'm back so soon. It's genuinely been like 5 minutes since the last clip, but I am thinking about how hard this is going to be. Like I have it in my head that this draft needs to be perfect and that this book just like needs to be proof that I know how to write a book. Okay, this is like my 8th book. Okay, I know how to write a book. Like objectively, I know how to write a book. I'm 19, but I know how to write a book. And the fact that this is going to be one of the hardest books that I've ever had to write, not because I'm a bad writer, but because I've never done anything like this. This is so out of my comfort zone. It's not my genre. It's a completely different age category too, because, well, I'm 19, so I guess I can write new adult now. Ew, I don't like that I just did that, but it's just so different. And the first draft, I know the first draft can be bad. All of my first drafts that I've ever written in my entire life have been terrible. But this one especially is going to be really bad because fantasy, like for a while, I just didn't read fantasy because it didn't interest me. But then something happened like the end of last year and I was like, you know, that sounds really good right now. A fantasy book. And it's probably because the state of the world right now, it doesn't make me want to read about the world right now. Contemporary young adult fiction will be my #1 genre forever because that's just like what I love. But I am just like really into fantasy right now. I don't know. The real reason I started writing a fantasy book is because I am querying. I am querying a young adult novel. Right now I have 3 fulls out for that. I've had 3 fulls out for like a while now and I haven't gotten anything back, which is good because that means I'm still being considered, but it's bad because it's making my anxiety spike. But anyways, I'm querying a contemporary novel, and every single contemporary idea that I have like on the back burner or that I come up with, it makes me think of that book and then it makes me think about querying. And I was just like, I can't do this right now, so I'm going to do something completely different. And I had a thriller that I was gonna write. If I don't know how to write a fantasy, I don't know how to write a freaking thriller. Who do you think I am? I don't know how to write a thriller, okay? So you know what, I was like a fantasy, you know what, why not? I've been really into like dead things. I've been into necromancy and bones, I guess. So I'm gonna write a fantasy book, and that's how I ended up here. And I love this idea so much, but I have it in my head that this first draft needs to be perfect, and that's not plausible at all. And I have it in my head that like all of these intricate character relationships, because of course I had to do that, all of these intricate character relationships need to be perfect, and the dialogue needs to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect at all, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And then all of the reveals and the plot twists and the little foreshadowing bits I want to add, like I just like feel like I need to have it all in my outline. I need to have it all figured out right now. I need to have it in the first draft so that I can prove that I am the writer that I think I am. And that's just not healthy. That's just simply not healthy. But it's what I think, and that's how it's gonna stay. So I think I'm gonna go to bed because I've been outlining this book since like 9 a.m. and it is currently 9:56 p.m. So I think it's my bedtime, which is not true. My bedtime is 11:20. So I'm gonna sit in my bed and watch TikToks. If you're still watching this video, like, thank you. So it's the next day. I am well rested. I am flowing with ideas. And I think this is gonna be good because I'm not too worried about the first draft being terrible, because the outline's terrible, which is even better. And since the outline's terrible, I don't have anything to live up to, right? No, but seriously, I've been trying to write a lot because that's the whole reason I got the job that I did, so that I would have time to write. And today is Sunday, so I don't have work or anything, and it's not the middle of the week, but I'm supposed to be writing. And what I really want to do is I want to read. I have like 100 pages left of my current read. So I think today, after I finish outlining Act 2, I'm going to spend the rest of my day reading and going on my phone and playing Toon Blast. So that's where I am right now. If I end up doing some more writing today, I will definitely vlog it. I did do like a little sprint with my outline, so, and I have a time lapse of that, so I'll add that too. But that's where I am right now. I just really want to read, which is great because I have so many books. Hi, hello. I haven't been writing because I have been reading a book, as you saw in the last clip, and I just want to say 1 star. 1 star. And honestly, it was going to be 3 stars up until the last 4 pages, and I'm genuinely so upset. This was the book Transistor Radio by Chris Boljalian. I'm actually not sorry, because this book was just not like, yay, it's a book written about trans people published in 2001, but it's also a book written about trans people published in 2001. You see where I'm getting at. Honestly, I could have looked past its little quirks, but then the last 4 pages of this book made me genuinely upset. So hopefully my next read is going to be better. I have The Bone Charmer by Brianna Shields. And obviously, since I'm writing a book about bones, this should be the perfect read for me after whatever that is. But actually, I do have an arc that I need to finish before I can read anything else. But like, this is going to be my next physical read. And I just have so much stuff to read, guys. Oh my God. Do you see that? You know what? That's how I'm feeling. I'm not very happy that I got a 1 star read after it was going to be a solid 3 stars until I got to the last 4 pages. I hate when books do that because that one book, Saving Noah, I'll put it on the screen. It was like a solid like 3.75, 4. And then I got to the like last chapter. Absolutely not. So I wanted to do a little update. I've been writing on paper again. I said I wasn't gonna write anymore today, but I did. I did all this in the past hour. I've been looking at The Anatomy of Story by John Truby, and I've just been brainstorming with that so that I could find things like the core of my story. Like I want to make sure that's really clear before I finish my first draft, so that when draft 2 comes, developmental edits will come easy to me. So I'm just carving out the core of my story, and I came up with a really good ending just now in this hour-long session that I'm super excited about. And I think this is exactly what I needed to do for the complete character arc and the complete story to feel how I wanted to feel by the time it gets to the end. So I'm very happy that I did this, and I'm just feeling really good. It is currently 10:05. My computer's on 10%, and it's my bedtime, so I'm gonna go to sleep and talk to you later. Hello, I'm gonna end the video here because it's a nice rainy day outside, but I am one of the weird writers who doesn't enjoy writing with the rain. I definitely get more excited and happy about writing whenever it's sunny, and whenever it rains, I really just want to lay around in bed and take naps and read. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna chill. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, please. Okay, that's enough. And I hope you enjoyed this video, as I said, and I will see you in the next one because I will definitely be keeping up with this channel, and if I don't, you can come and find me. Bye.